craft, and I'm here to show you a new craft today. I made one of these terrariums for a gift for Christmas a few years ago, and it went over so big I thought I'd show you how to do it. This is the craft, this is the terrarium. I love succulents, they are so wonderful. And oops, my little figurine just fell over. So anyway, what we're going to do today is we're going to make a terrarium with succulents. They're very easy to maintain. You don't have to water them very much, which is really nice. I have a lantern here. Lanterns are also something that are very trendy and popular right now. So I have this one, and that's what we're going to work on. And now, I suppose you're wondering, how are you going to do this? How are you going to water it? How are you going to put dirt in a lantern? So what I'm going to show you is we're going to make a little tray first. Now I went and picked up this these foam sheets. This is a black one, and I think it works well. And you can see on this one, it just hides. It just kind of disappears into the dirt, and it doesn't show much. So what I've done is measured the inside of our lantern, and when you measure, it turns out to be 4 inches, 4 inches this way, and then you measure this the long way, and that is 6.5. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our sheet here, and I want this to come up about 1.5 inches, so I have enough dirt to maintain the succulents because they're really a rather shallow plant. So then what we're going to do is we're going to measure, I'm going to measure here 1.5 inches. Let me get it this way so I can see it. 1.5 inches, and then we're going to go 4 inches for the width, and then another 1.5 inches marking, and I'm going to actually mark this twice. I'm doing this with a white pen so I can see it, and it's not going to matter because it's all going to be covered with dirt. So what we've got then, I'm going to draw this on here so you can see. It's not showing up very much, but I can see it. It kind of makes a little indent on it so you can really see. It makes an indent on the foam. That one. Now we're going to do the other side, which is another 1.5 inches, and then we're going to do our 6.5 inches. And then another 1.5 inches for the sides. Okay. Let me just mark that. This 1.5 inches here. Okay, so I've got that marked, and I hope you can kind of see where the marking is. You can see it probably much better when you're right on top of it like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just cut this foam, and it's really, really easy to cut. You can do it with scissors. I'm just going to run the blade right over it. Don't mean to scratch your table, Sally.
Good. It wouldn't be the first time.
Okay, so now we have alright, so now you've got this. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut, let me see here, I'm going to do it this way. I'm just going to cut one side of the square from the base where the intersection here, straight down, and we're going to do the other side the same way. So now you can kind of see we've got these flaps like this. Now what we're going to do with those, we're gonna fold these on our line to make our little box. Now you can do this with acetate. If you can find the right size, like Tupperware, that'll work too. I happen to like it in this black, so I mean you could possibly spray paint it, but this foam, because you're not watering it with a lot of water, it works out pretty well as far as like being a deterrent to, I mean it's not gonna leak as long as you just put in a little bit of water, which is really all a succulent needs, a little bit every week or so. Okay, so I'm folding down all these pieces and we're folding it up. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna glue this together. So we're gonna make our little box. So I've got this E6000 here. I'll show you how we do this. Now I did this, I made one before so I wouldn't have to wait till for this to dry. But you just put this on there like this, and I threw a paper clip on it to get this corner, and waited for it to dry that way. And you do that for all four corners to get the box. When you finish, this is what it looks like. You have a box, so it has an 1.5 inch side, and it's a little, like I say, it's a little, the fold doesn't necessarily stay crisp, but that's okay because it's going to be inside the lantern, which will hold it together. So now I have my little succulents. And one of the things I like to do, as you saw on the sample here, I have an angel in that one. I'm kind of partial to angels. And again, I'll show it to you again. We've got our little angel in there with the succulents. But you can really use any kind of figurine you want. I happen to find a couple of them. I found this one, which is a little angel holding a flower. I thought that was cute. I also have a little bunny that I found that I thought was also adorable to put in with the little plants. Now, one of the things that I was thinking you could also, if you wanted to change it seasonally, that would work. Put a Santa in there with them if you want. Put a bunny for Easter. I have some rocks and crystals that I think are really cool too to put in there. And I'm just going to show you what this looks like here. Once you've got the box in, as you can see, it kind of disappears because this is a black lantern anyway, and it'll give you just 1.5 inches enough to put the dirt in and get this planted. So I like to think of this as the door in the back, and the front would be the way the figurine would sit. Because when you're watering this, you're going to open up the back, and you want the plants nearby. So that's why I'm going to set it up that way. So this is where it gets a little bit messier, because we're going to put a little dirt in here now. I'm going to take these guys out of their little planters first. These are a little wet still. Tried to water them, you know how they get really dry. And the best way to do this, you want to make sure that the roots are free, so you don't necessarily want it to sit there in that pot shape. So I'm just trying to loosen that dirt up a little bit. And we're getting dirt everywhere, but that's okay. And I just use regular potting soil. Now what I'm doing here is I'm leaving some space. I want to leave some space for the figurine. So I'm putting these one toward the front and two toward the back. And again, they're kind of placed there in the piece. And I'm not sure, I'm going to see, she might end up getting buried a little bit. Get this out of the way. Right, did I get her all dirty? I did. Wipe her off, because once she's in there, it's a little more difficult to do. Okay, I'm going to do this so I'm facing me for a second. So, This is my handy dandy bag of dirt. So I went and got some potting soil, some regular potting soil, and now I'm going to fill in with the potting soil around the plants to fill up my box. And I think I'm going to bury some of her skirt too, so she can sit in there pretty well. Kind of see how that's going. I just want to make sure I get all in there. Yes, I like digging in the dirt. Okay, there's that. All right, now comes the challenging part. We're going to get it into here. It's flexible, kind of bends a little bit. Pushing it in there to get it in right. My angel is standing up. You can kind of see. Now I cleaned my glass before I put that in there, so I'll have to clean it up a little bit again here. But and these are going to grow, especially the closer to the sun you get. So. All right, that is in. These are already pretty wet, so I'm not going to give them any water right now. And then you just close this up, and there you go. Let me clean off this. Dirt. And depending on when you get your lantern, you want to make sure that you get a figurine, if you're going to use a figurine, that is, clean that off there. Get a figurine that's going to fit to the top and give you a little bit of space. So there is our figurine in our terrarium. And these things will keep, as long as you keep watering them and keep them in the sun, they should last for a long time. And just get a little bit bigger. You can clip them off if they start getting too big. But they make a nice little addition to your tabletops, an end table, or they may also make great housewarming gifts. And that's all there is to it. A nice, quick and easy craft for you. Hope you guys like it. Please like and save our page, subscribe, and tune in next time to see what we're going to be doing, which craft we're going to be doing next. Bye-bye now.